is a Dubai cyclist warns of the dangers of road cycling following a horrific accident. And a cyclist who could have lost his life in a road accident is spreading an important message. Now, keen cyclist Andy Fordham was involved in a serious bike/car accident in Al Qudra, the roundabout in which he collided with a 2,000-kilogram vehicle. And the accident took place on a route he had ridden more than 200 times. And he shared the story to alert other cyclists about how easily accidents can happen and to save lives and to put an end to needless road accidents. Now, Andy formed Dubai Cycling Community Facebook group over 10 years ago, and he's an enthusiastic member of the Dubai cycling community.
However, he said that he has witnessed too many unnecessary deaths on the road from cyclists who believe that they were good cyclists and safe riders. He also adds that the reality is that a 2,000 kg vehicle will always win when colliding with an 80-kilogram rider. So he asked for all riders to stop riding on public roads, and one day your luck's gonna run out like it did for him.
Exactly, and Andy was riding at approximately 85 kilometers per hour, and the accident happened 25 kilometers per hour over the speed limit. And cycling on a route he was more than familiar with, he thought it was the easiest and safest way to reach his home in Town Square. And despite the fact that he was prepared, he said he was hit because the driver in the car was not expecting him to be on his right.
He said, as much as I use extreme hand signals, which I met him yesterday and he was very clear about that, he's aware of the dangers. Nothing will ever prepare you for the day where you make the wrong decision and pay the price.
Exactly. Now, Andy summarized his post by highlighting the incredible facilities we have here for cyclists in Dubai. So why take the risk? He's currently on the road to recovery and looks forward to cycling once again on bike tracks in Dubai. So good luck with your recovery, Andy. And that's such an important message that he has shared with everyone, especially just at that vulnerable place in life, like somewhere like you have really messed up, and you're sharing your story and saying like, this is what happened to me, taking responsibility of what happened and saying like, I did get lucky all this time, and this time it wasn't in my favor, and this is what happened. It could have been much more fatal, but luckily he was saved by the grace of God.
Exactly. Like, under the circumstances, he's considered very lucky. So he passed by the office yesterday. He is going to be here next Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. He's gonna join the show. So I met him yesterday. He came in, he had stitches all down his leg, like marks and scars and just like scabs everywhere all over his body. It wasn't necessarily his fault, you know. He loves cycling. It's his passion. He's been doing it for so long, but he takes every single measure super seriously. Like, he's very extreme and dramatic with his hand signals. He has a son as well, who he makes sure he puts every precaution in place to make sure that his son cycles and scooters with every safety precaution necessary. But that's not enough. Just because you take all of these measures, you don't know. Like, you can prepare yourself, but you can't prepare what happens around you, you know?
Exactly.
And he's been cycling his whole life. He's been doing this his whole life, and it's still like his luck ran out. And it's not that he was unsafe, because he was signaling, he was not going the fastest speed ever. But these things do happen, and it's unavoidable, and it's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, very true. Like, whatever you said, it's just so on point. And it's sometimes it's just the circumstances. It's not even you. And that's why they call it an accident, because it's like you just don't see it coming. And life is so unpredictable in these kind of ways, right? Like, you just don't expect certain things to happen to you, and it does out of nowhere. And then you just sit there like re-evaluating everything and just making sure that. But that's the thing, right? Like, situations like this make you introspect and go like, what can I do to make sure this never happens to me or anyone I know or love or close ones or just like anyone in general.
Yeah, honestly, he's a super active guy. He's had this Facebook group for over 10 years. Like, this is his passion. Like, he loves being out and about and being active in general. But like you said, like, unpredictable the way life can lead, you know? Like, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen despite how many precautionary measures you take. But we just wish you speedy recovery, Andy. And he's such a nice guy, guys. He's here next week, so do watch the interview because he has a lot of insight in general. But yeah. That's
exciting to have him on the show and to hear all about it from him, from the man himself. Our next story is